Today, our good friends Terry and Barbara are going to give us a tour of their 17-foot Casita trailer. They're going to show us all the cool little customizations they've made over the years to make it perfect for their lifestyle. You know what? Let's start outside.
Okay.
So Terry, do you want to tour us around outside, and then Barbara will tour us around inside?
Okay.
All right. Where do you want to start?
Start here. We're at the back.
All right. So you've got some bike racks, or you've got some bikes with a bike rack.
One of the features I wanted to make sure I had on this was a receiver, so you could put a bike rack or even pull a small trailer or something on the back. So bike rack goes in this small receiver, and when you secure them properly, they're pretty safe back there. You can still see the lights through the wheels, although I would prefer to have an overhead light would be even better, but I haven't had any close calls, so I guess I'm doing okay.
And for this bike receiver, did you install that yourself, or did you get that professionally installed?
That was already there. Someone
Okay.
else had already installed it. It was an option back then.
Yeah, the Casitas don't come with the receiver, right?
Yeah.
So it is something you have to get installed after.
I guess we should say we bought this used. It's a 2011. Yeah, one of the upgrades we did was the 4-point stabilizers. It only had 2 in the back and just the single stand in the front. And that made a big difference in walking around in the trailer, so you don't feel it shifting around hardly at all now.
Oh yeah.
In 2011, they had a hose that was permanently fixed here, and then you had to wind it around here, and it put a lot of stress on this door.
Oh yeah.
And several times I was going down the road, and the door flopped open, and the hose was flying, bouncing down the road. So I said, enough of this. So I knew they had these quick releases. A little pressure on there. And then you just close the door, and you're done.
That's an awesome feature to have.
So, very nice. Front, and the other 2 stabilizers on the front, and everything else is kind of standard.
Okay, so most of what we're seeing here would come standard on a Casita.
Yeah. This comes with a 2 30-pound tanks. The person who had it before that didn't see any reason for 2 tanks, so they used a little storage area on the other side. So that's my up front storage area. You can see just hoses.
Oh, so that's nice. So
Those
some of
hoses
that
over there.
wet stuff that you wouldn't necessarily want to put in your vehicle. Or
And I cook so little. We've had that 1 30-pound tank for this is like the 3rd year on that tank, and it's still not used up. So I don't use that much.
Well, we don't cook that much.
We don't cook that much.
Barbara's going to show us around the inside of the trailer now, and she's also going to show us some of the upgrades that she made.
That should be the
this
first thing
past
to show.
year. So tell us about this, Barbara. What did you do here?
They're just curtain rods,
Nice.
and you just put them up, and then you can just put your shoes in there.
That is a really clever idea. I really like that. I wish we would have done that
you know,
on
the
ours.
hooks just, stick on, but then
You can never have enough hooks.
no. Now you can do hooks on the carpet. Terry sometimes puts his sweatshirt there.
Yeah, so what kind of hooks are those? Those are some sort of
Curtain hooks.
drapery hooks? Curtain hooks?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And they just right into the carpet.
All right, so where shall we go next? You want to go to the
Well,
closet next?
Yeah, this is called Katie's Closet. It's shelving that you can order and put in. Before I just had something hanging, and it just...
It's a terrific design.
And so you've tried quite a few different
Yeah.
alternatives for this closet.
Yeah.
And we talked about this earlier, but ultimately Katie's Closet was the way to go.
Yeah.
After testing so many different
Yeah.
alternatives.
Yeah. And we don't hang our clothes up, so
Yeah. Yeah, hardly need the
Yeah.
the hanging closet.
I took the time this summer to steam clean all the carpeting. They call it rat fur.
Yep.
And it's insulation so that the walls don't sweat.
Yep.
And so it's not just for looks. But then I went to replacing the foam and the cushions. This is a pretty firm foam.
Extra thick too.
And I made new covers for it. All you do is you sew a tube and then wrap it like a present and sew it.
Oh, wow.
And that's all it is.
And
It's
they're
very
really
easy.
comfortable cushions.
Made new curtains, so you don't have to put, the blinds down. You just draw those at
Nice.
night. Permanent bed.
And that's, what size is that bed?
That's
a
just
double
a
bed?
Yeah, double bed,
Double.
which is what we sleep on at home.
Yeah, so that's perfect.
So, this is our clothes closet.
Oh, perfect.
So-
So there's quite a bit of storage underneath the bed.
Yes. And then this is our dirty clothes. And as we use clean clothes, that shrinks and this gets
And that
bigger.
gets bigger.
So that's how we do that.
Tell me about
makes
this
it
garbage, because
Oh.
that's kind of a cool little feature.
It's just a little trash can that opens up
Expands.
and it goes over the lip.
And do you remember where you found that? I think a lot of people with little trailers would be interested.
I think I just saw it online on one of the camping sites.
Yeah, because a lot of people with little trailers often ask, where do I put my garbage can?
Yes.
That was a
You
challenge
have
for
to
us
empty
as
it
well.
often, but in a little trailer, you don't want a lot of garbage in here. So.
No, exactly.
Now, I showed you this last year. I think you have one, a drying rack.
You are the reason that we
Yeah.
have one, because we saw one in
So,
your trailer last year.
I put that there for Terry. And I use a sponge, and this stuff is called foam.
Yeah.
Just put a little bit on a wet sponge. You can soap up all your dishes and then rinse them. You don't have to fill up a sink full of water.
Oh, wow.
And then you just rinse them and pop them there for Terry to dry. But this has been wonderful. It saves water because you're not filling up a sink full of water.
That's a good
And we
tip.
have the foldable stuff, that bucket.
Mm-hmm.
This is a set. So there's your colander. And
Very
there's your
cool.
bowl.
Oh,
So great space savers, right? Anything
Yeah.
that you can get that's collapsible.
it's a small thing, but
See?
had a place to put the Kleenex.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
yes.
one of the things we added.
Yeah, you're taking up less table space, less counter space that way. It's
And
out of the way.
The other thing we did on here is put the high-rise
High-rise. You had that.
spout so
didn't
you can get the.
We do not have that. Actually, Dave was just pricing them out this week to see if we can get something a little higher
It's
rise.
a real easy change.
Yeah. No, that's a
That
great.
one just screws off.
addition
That one
as well.
screws on.
And you've got your little TV in the back corner there,
Yep.
just
Yeah.
the right size for a tiny trailer.
Right.
Looks like you even have a Roku plugged into it,
Mhm.
or a Fire Stick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you have air conditioning in the trailer as well.
Yes.
Heat strip.
And this is a heat strip and air conditioner. So it's kind of noisy, so we have a small little heater that I prefer when we're trying to sleep.
Plugs directly
I don't know if
in.
you have one of those.
We do not. So that just
Really
plugs
tiny.
into a regular 120 volt outlet.
Yes.
Mhm.
Very neat.
So
And it looks like there's maybe a timer on it if you want it to shut off after a certain period. Huh. Well, that's
thermostat
neat.
too.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to check that one
You
out.
set the thermostat for a particular temperature.
So a lot of people put stuff like that up in
Decorative
their
lights.
trailer. You know, different colors. It's green, red.
Yeah, and those are just simple lights you just stick on right on the
Stick 'em.
back,
Right.
and then they just plug into a regular outlet.
Even though it says it's flexible, you can't really do a sharp turn because it'll break the wiring. So
Right.
it has to be a gradual. That's why I put it there. And I did the floor.
Oh yes, we haven't talked about the floor yet.
I wanted a retro look. It was just tan, dirty, gray looking. It wasn't really dirty. It was just.
Yeah, I think that's one
So-
of the biggest changes since
Yes,
we saw this
and
trailer
it
last
gives
year.
it more light in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really
Well,
does.
and
It
then
makes it bright.
the different color cushions too, instead of just brown.
Yeah. So,
And
this is a small trailer, 17 foot.
mhm.
What's it like to live in here? You guys have been on the road, what now, for a month you've been, or 3
Mhm.
weeks?
Mhm.
Almost a month.
So, what's it like to live in a little space like this?
Just get used to it.
Yeah.
No big deal.
It just feels normal now, Terry?
Feels normal. Yeah. On a rainy day, I mean, we'll just get the games out. We'll sit there and play games, or we get bored with games. We'll hop into bed, turn the TV on, and plug in a movie, watching a movie.
Yeah, it doesn't bother us trying to maneuver around here. We
claustrophobic.
know what we need to do to stay out of each other's way, but
I
yeah,
think
there's
The
no
first things we
dancing
need
in
to learn
here.
to do in this trailer is move slower.
Yes.
So if you move very slowly when you open doors and go inside and take slow steps,
Yeah. He's almost
You
like
don't
a
bang
bull
it.
in a china shop.
you don't bang into things.
Yeah, I guess it just becomes a regular lifestyle. You're in the trailer long enough and you just get used to
You
the
just
smaller
know the space.
and is there anything you miss from home?
Our friends.
Yeah, probably
Any
just the friends.
things?
Things.
No things that you're like, oh, I wish I had a bigger trailer so I could bring this particular thing with me.
I don't think
No,
so.
not really.
Well, no. I think if you had more space like in the car, you'd fill it up. So we
Yeah.
try not to do that.
If you have a bigger trailer, you'll fill it up.
Yeah, a bigger house, you fill it up. So we're in a stage of life where it's
Downsize.
downsizing.
Yeah.
Giving away things.
Things are just things at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily need all of these things to be
Yeah.
happy.
I mean, I have at home things that antiques that belonged in the family and all that, and I enjoy being around that.
Yeah.
But I don't need to bring it with me.
Yeah. Yeah. You
But,
know it's
yeah.
still back there at
Yeah, when you
home.
go home.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank both of you for giving us a tour of your trailer
Thank you.
and telling us a little bit about the RV life and what it's all about. I think this will be inspiring to a lot of people. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button. Or even better, subscribe to our channel. It really does help us reach a wider audience. And don't forget to come back tomorrow to see where we go next.